This song's pretty good. it's actually yeah. It's about fucking for one, and I'm always gonna be into a song about fucking, but it's just fun. It's got a good thing, and fucking's always a good thing. And I think Larry, who's agreeing with me, is also letting me know that we are officially underway.
Oh, okay. So we're up.
We're officially underway.
All right. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Jason Oberly,
Yeah.
old friend.
Yeah.
Been a long time, but man, you do some killer work with artists, and this is why I wanted to have a nice long chat with you about your work and your art.
What, 15 years in the making?
Something like that. Yeah.
It just, plug away. Just
Tell me how you got into. Well, tell us what you do first, and then tell us how you got into it.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, lately the 15 years, just been the guitar guy, pretty much.
So what's the guitar guy?
So I pretty much paint, customize all the guitars, instruments for most of the bands, most celebrities doing stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The way I got into it was by accident, like most things. Being a custom artist, you're always kind of following the trends. You see what everybody else is doing. I just fell into it. Guys like, can you paint a guitar? Sure. If I could do cars or bikes, what's a guitar? Mm-hmm. Was I wrong a little bit? Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Well, because it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Because of the curves on it, the finishes on it. And then once you get into all the electronics, that was like, oh, okay. Now I need to learn all this stuff. But that's how I got into it. Started painting a couple just around town, and then meeting up, right people, internet, Twitter at the time. A mutual friend got me in touch with Zach Wild, our friend, Black Label Society, Aussie. And he liked it. He tweeted it. And then once he did that, it was pretty much off and running.
Who did you start with? Who was the groundwork that was local for you that brought you to Zach Wild?
Well, it wasn't somebody local. I was doing, just local jobs for different companies, different stuff like that. That got me on the radar as far as his fan base, other artists, and of course, his connection with Vinny Paul.
Yeah.
That helped. But I took opportunities of one of the major ones was Dan Aykroyd was signing his vodka.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, you know what? I like Ghostbusters. I like Dan Aykroyd. I did a custom guitar. I actually did like a clear skull. I molded it in, stuff like that. Turns out one of the Gibson guitar reps was there. And then he saw it. And then that got me in with Gibson, started having me do stuff with other companies like Tap Out at the time, Budweiser, and that started laying like the groundwork for, legit companies to see what I do. And then it just started morphing. Once you put in the hours and just the amount that I was cranking out, then it was like, okay, here we go,
Did it scare you when you started getting all this work coming at you? Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Because as a custom artist, that's what you want. It's based on you, your success, your failure. If you don't put the work in, you ain't getting paid.
Right.
It's not like a regular 9 to 5 where you have something to fall back on. It's 100% you. So, trying to follow what everybody else was, you're only busy probably 6 months out of the year. So the rest of the time, you're like, what do I do? You have to get another job, or you have to work. I worked at one of the hotels because at the time, the money's just not there. You have to pay the bills. But once I got in with the guitars, going, okay, there's some traction to this. If you could afford a several $1,000 Gibson, what's a little bit extra for a paint job?
Sure.
And then having that connection with the Gibson rep, that's how I got hooked up with Five Finger Death Punch when Jason Hook was in the band doing stuff for that. And it starts having that domino effect,
Describe doing Jason's first guitar, because, you are responsible for the artwork of
many
of his guitars, right? I was going to say all, but maybe not quite all, but a lot.
Yeah, it was. They just needed something done for one of the music videos.
Which one?
Over and Under It.
Okay.
And at the time, I wasn't able to do it. So it was like, you take a shot, and then that conversation led me into Hook at the time. Hey, I want a Kawasaki guitar. I want this. So it at least gave dialogue and, building the trust factor, of course, of, if I am doing something with somebody, they know it's 100% private, unless you're like, go for it. But that going back and forth, I like to do sketches and mock-ups. So it works with the artist to get their vision. And then, that blew up. And then I got hooked into John 5, doing NAMM, all John's monster guitars, which translated into the drums, doing the masks for everything for the zombie set. So it was just... You
did the masks too?
Yeah, I did.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, so
all right.
Matt, Piggy from Zombie, he had custom masks made. So I painted those, did the basses, Ginger had me do drum heads. And
so
drums.
How does that work? When an artist says, Jason, I want you, is there a process what's the process?
Well, pretty much, they'll contact me, we'll work out something. What helps now is after all the hard work and everything like that, I'm lucky enough I have sponsors. So the cost really is not coming out of my pocket. I'm not paying for materials. I'm not doing all that. So I could afford to give them a better rate, but here's the terms. Because I have sponsors, I'm only charging you pretty much my labor for it. But in return, I need to be able to use that to help fulfill obligations with the sponsors, helps, PR. It gives you credit, them credit. I get it. It's a win-win for everybody as far as promotional. And then once they say then I'm like, okay, let's start designing. I'll start doing mock-ups. I like to do Photoshop mock-ups because for some reason, if they don't like something, it's an easy click, get it out. I'm not spending hours sketching and doing all that stuff. So once we nail that design, then it's like, okay, what's the time frame? Some are like unrealistic, but I get it done, But and then just we work it out and go from there, and we'll set up if it is for a tour date. We make sure. I have to make sure it's done by a certain time. There is no, I'm not feeling good or anything like that. They don't care. It has to be for that show.
And you have a nice clientele.
Yeah, it's definitely when I go to write a bio or whatever, it does sound fake because you look at the list, you're like, there's no way. But yeah, it's snowballed into,
Can you? Let's divulge.
Yeah, so
we got people wondering who's the list.
Yeah, I mean, it turned into also being a featured Raiders artist and having 2 paintings hanging in the Allegiant Stadium. Right now.
Football too, dude.
Yeah,
okay,
so
it's not just rock and roll.
No, it translated into that. It translated into Sons of Anarchy TV show.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
so
right. Didn't you do the motorcycle?
I did one of the bikes. My boy Eddie Hollywood was one of the Mayans.
Yeah,
so it's in season 7. He got to roll up and just like kill a bunch of people.
Nice. So, on your bike that you painted.
Yep. So there's
a
whole scene of that. I mean, it only lasts for a few seconds, but hey, there it is.
There it is. That's your bike.
And then that actually rolled into doing a car for Fast and Furious 7 in the race war scene. Once Paul Walker died, they kind of like redid stuff, but the car's only there for a few seconds. But if you buy like the bonus DVD with the behind the scenes stuff,
you get to see
a car,
because you do an entire car.
Yeah,
too.
So the whole
not
thing
just
was
guitars. It's not just drums. It's not just motorcycles. It's cars.
Yeah, so I mean, all that kind of is relatable. Music, cars, So it's all does all that. But
who are you? Who have you been contracted with musically in the past?
Musically, of course, Jason Hook, Chris Cale, 5 Finger Death Punch, John 5, Rob Zombie. I've done stuff with Ozzy. I do also the Ronnie James Dio Cancer Charity with Wendy Dio.
Dio's rad.
Yeah. anything they want, I'm on board with it. A lot of stuff with Alice Cooper and his charity as well.
Okay.
So I try to do at least a couple things for him. He has the golf one, and then he has his Christmas pudding. Every December, I try to go out to Arizona for that. And Johnny Depp, he was a part of it. You know, of course, our guys, Avenged Sevenfold. You know, just, yeah I mean...
Kiss?
Kiss, yeah.
Okay,
Kiss.
I'm like, come on, man. I know you were Gene Simmons' dude.
Yeah, that was the final farewell tour. That was a couple years of just unrealistic deadlines. I mean, these guys were buying bass guitars all the time.
Yeah.
So through his bass company, you purchase something custom. Of course, it went to me, painted it. It had to go out to that tour, that city. That's one of those of, we don't care how you feel. These guys are spending this amount of money. It has to be on that show.
So Kiss, I mean, there's a reason that they are Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but one of those reasons is Gene Simmons is a no-holds-barred businessman who's got shit to do.
Oh, yeah.
Things to get done. And you went through that with him.
I mean, there's times... Thankfully for the sponsors having good stuff. I mean, there's times I was painting 3 bass guitars a night. I mean, that is taking it apart, sanding it, prepping it, painting it, clearing it, sanding, polishing, rewiring it, making sure that it's playable.
How many hours in a night do you have that we don't?
Not enough. I mean, I still need more. I mean, I'm still, I don't know. It's the artist brain, you know. It's like...
Because your work, as we're going to show, is not like
no.
It's
it's very detailed, intricate. It's just stuff over, you know, like most things. You know, you could take a class, you could do this, but as an artist, as somebody that's trying to, you know, be, you know, not perfect, but you want it as close as perfect as you can. Because to us personally, nothing's good. We see the flaws and everything.
Right.
Everybody, oh, that's killer. I'm like, nah. You know, I could point it out.
I get it. Yeah.
But what it is I've always, how faster can I get? How more detailed can I get? You know, because time is money.
Right.
So I've found ways of doing shortcuts, you know, because before, these are the layers, these are the steps. I'm like, I just need to get there. It has to look like this. So if I could cut the hours, that saves me a ton of time. Then I'm like, if it's something like with Gene and the Kiss tour, where a lot of it was the same images. They loved this one image, and it was like, all right. So I found ways of just doing an assembly line by myself, of going, okay, well, I have the one color. I'm just going to base them all out at the same time. So by the time the first one's dry, I could go back and then
assembly line
just boom, and just, you know, things like that just save time, you know, because, you know, it's a process, you know. And luckily I do automotive urethane, so it's not like acrylic, where acrylic takes a while to dry, where the urethane, I mean, it's pretty much instant. You know, it's what you're using on show cars, everything like that. So
when you got the word, when Kiss approached you, how did that go down? Kiss, all of a sudden Kiss is knocking on your door. The ultimate fucking band from, I'm sure, when you were a kid. Am I wrong?
Well,
were you not into Kiss as a kid?
I mean, growing up, I heard some of it. I mean, my family were playing, you know, Led Zeppelin, ZZ Top, stuff like that. You know, Kiss, everybody kind of knew Kiss. You know, it wasn't till later, you know, you get more into it, you know. But
they come knocking on your door.
Well, what it was is Gene was putting together like a art exhibit, and I got wind of it, and it was actually after the fact. This is the funny story of it. So I didn't even know that it was out there. A friend of mine, I guess, got in, and I was like, well, what's up with this? So I contacted my rep from the Grammys, because she knows all those people. So I guess she hit up Doc, hit up a couple other people, like, no, you need this guy in there. And then Gene's people contacted me. And that's how we first started talking. And then once they found out I'm local, this is what I do, they're starting to see, oh, I could save money. This guy, instead of shipping it, he could do everything here. I'm reliable. I have the track record with the other artists, so the trust is there. Right. And then it went from one into, we're going to give you a couple to, okay, you're the dude. And then here it is. Can you pick up 7 this week? Can you pick up, yeah. Wow. It's just, I always wanted to be the guy, the go-to guy. So even if I wasn't sure I would be able to pull it off, I still said yes, because life is a series of opportunities. It may not come back around, so you have to say yeah and go for it. So that's how that started.
Especially with Gene Simmons.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's
just like, comes knocking, you don't go, eh.
Some of these people, they contact me. I'm like, because I always have Bluetooth on. So as they're telling me what's going on, I'm grabbing my phone. So I'm trying to do some vetting. Yeah, as I'm, okay, this makes sense. Okay, they're talking, same people. So yeah, we got your name from this person. We talked about it. So I text that person, hey, did you reach out? Or did they reach out? Yeah, okay. So it kind of, ties the loose endings up. Okay, this person's trustworthy.
Right.
And, nowadays you have to, because I
don't know.
Yeah, I get so many people hitting up for whatever.
Who have you said no to?
I mean, there's some companies, stuff like that. Of course, a lot of charities. I have to limit that, because if not, you're doing free stuff all day long. So I limit to a couple a year.
Okay. Who's your charities?
Like I said, the Dio charity, the Alice Cooper ones.
Yep. Okay.
A lot of things with St. Jude. I mean, also into the automotive scene. There's an overlap. Mm-hmm. A lot of us like to do stuff with St. Jude.
So NSYNC hasn't come to you and you haven't said no?
No, nothing like that, Which...
they're going on tour, you never know.
Would
what? You say no to NSYNC if they said, hey, we need a...
Money is money.
Okay, baby, I got you. I love it.
You got to pay the bills, so it's like...
Yeah, and they got money.
Yeah.
So, Justin, you guys... Hey. Jason Oberly.
Tour bus, road crew, whatever.
Let's go.
If I could make paint stick, it's a done deal.
I love that.
So I mean that's what it is. At the end of the year, you need a block of cash for bills, personal, business, everything.
Yeah. I'll take a block of cash right now.
Yeah.
You don't need it at the end of the year. Let's take it all year.
Yeah. That's what we do this for. It's like, the money's good. But I'm more on the relationships.
Yeah.
Because especially with touring, some bands go on the road for a year or two. So it's not necessarily the stuff that you do with them all the time. But once it's on stage, it
looks good.
Yeah.
Man.
And then, especially,
up there.
When you're in the crowd, you see it, that's cool. And then, I get to sometimes get on stage and see it from that point of view.
Sure.
They hold something up and you see that whole arena light up, and it's like, oh, okay, here it is. It makes it all worth it. The time, the smelling like paint when I'm going to the store because it's about to close. I know I'm just gassing them out because I smell like clear or something.
Yeah.
But it's part of the gig. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I get to sling paint and listen to music all day. Life ain't that hard, so it's fun.
Who's your you've worked with a lot of wonderful people. Yep. Who's your favorite? And what's your favorite piece? That favorite person.
I mean, the stuff I've done with John, I'm a classic Monsters guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, we met up at NAMM one year, and he was having a guitar built. It was Monsters guitar with another builder. And then their painter at the time, due to TV shows he was on, logistics, whatever, couldn't do it. So it came to me. I pulled it off, met John in person at NAMM, exchanged, infos, and let's do something. And then I was designing something else for somebody. I mean, it's been years, so I forget what I was. But I had the idea for the Wolfman guitar. I knew John was into the classics. Shipped him over mock-up. I'm sitting there laughing. Oh, yeah, he'll email me later. I didn't even turn the corner of my house. Phone rang. Jason, it's John. How do I get it? I'm like, okay, here we go. worked out that, and then that laid into the Frankenstein one, the next one, and now I've done, I don't know, 6 or 7 laser guitars, everything light up on it. So but the monsters, I think those are my favorite. I mean, black and white's classic
and tough to do. Is black and white harder than
No,
color?
I mean, it's easier.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, you are limited. It's easy to get the shading right. It's the color is what's harder, especially if you're doing portraits, because people don't realize all the different values, all the different shades, and trying to make it look realistic. That's where the experience comes in.
Yeah.
And knowing your materials, because a lot of things you'll see kind of looks flat or looks still cartoony, even though the proportions may be correct. You could see just from eye something's not right. But if you nail those skin tones just correctly, you got it. And then that's what I've worked on for over the years, and have a little stuff with the sponsor coming out, that we'll dabble into that later, so that's one of those things. It's like, okay, it's the work is there, the experience is there. Now being trusted to be a spokesperson for a brand, for a company, that I'm like, okay, the hard work paid off. Yeah. Here it is, right. To license my name or get it out there. That's not many people get to have that. So I know I'm fortunate to be able to do a lot of this cool stuff. But I'm not done.
No, you are not.
You have
your own company now, Driven.
Couple things, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about Driven and what you're doing with Driven.
Well, Driven's pretty much what people used to call me, because I was nonstop. So I decided to, use that, because that's pretty much who I am. Right. It's nonstop. So it's more of that lifestyle of don't tell me no. I'll find a way to do it. So that translated into, clothing, shoes, stuff like that.
As we know here at Kilpop.
Yeah.
As Larry knows here at Kilpop, because he's got the Kilpop shoes.
Yeah. Ended up doing a pair for Ivan Moody, our friend from
Death Punch. I love
so
Ivan, yeah.
Ivan has his own custom pair of, red and white ones. I sent to his house.
Love
so, now we'll see with all the, political landscape of stuff going on from overseas, because, my factory's in Italy, so we have to wait and see how that translates with the shipping and all the other stuff. But once that gets ironed out, everything, it would be cool.
Sure.
But, I mean, that's part of business.
Life in itself.
Yeah. But other than that, always creating new things. So.
Okay. And what's your other deal? Well, what's going on with Jason Oberly that I don't know about? Because I know about Driven. I'm asking questions that I already fucking know the answer to.
Yeah.
Just so you know that. But right now I'm asking him a question I don't know the fucking answer. Go ahead. Well, what's going on?
Well, I have the Driven Lifestyle Solutions now, which is the supplements that I started.
Dude, hook a sister up. Yeah, what's going on with that?
Last year, between friends and family, people getting sick, people passing away, it made me reevaluate just us in general.
Yeah.
Like, seeing just our diets, what we're doing. So I wanted something more healthy. So I went down the rabbit hole, of companies and manufacturers and looking at different like mushroom blends.
Okay.
Seeing all the benefits from it, whether it's, mental, physical, everything. And I started with that. And it's going good. So I have that available, and started doing a sleep blend, because there's times, you need to get some sleep, but sleep pills are not good for you. You wake up all groggy.
Right.
So just looking more natural remedies. What did we do a couple hundred years ago? It was all plant-based. It was all herbs and flowers and, chamomile, lavender and stuff like that. So just going through and doing kind of everything where it's mental, physical, just everything, and overall wellness. Because the lifestyle, being musicians too, being on the road, they don't sleep right. You know, it's like you're up all night. Once you get off the stage, you're keyed up.
Right.
You know, so in the past, we know with friends and everything, it doesn't really translate into a healthy lifestyle. You know, you start drinking or whatever else.
Sure.
You know, so you need something else to kind of calm you down, get you into a relaxed mode. You know, so that, and then you want to wake up, but you don't want to be all groggy. You don't want to be all, jacked if you're taking something else too. So,
Sure.
but that's where I'm at on that one. You know, so
how's it work for you? You're obviously taking your supplements.
Yeah.
So how is the mushroom mushroom supplement work for you? What do you use it for, and how have you seen it work for you?
It helps with not that I need more focus, but it's overall like a calming. You know, because one of the major killers is of course stress, how people react to things. So having a more calm approach and just your body where you're not overreacting, your blood pressure's not going through the roof. That helps. Occasionally, I'll do the sleep time.
Okay.
Sleep formula. I mean, it's a nice ease, where you kind of start feeling relaxed, your eyes get a little heavy, boom, you're out. But then you can wake up. I'm up at 5 every morning anyways.
Right. We
so
discussed
I'm not
this part too.
Yeah.
Me too, except for today.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But you're not waking up like, oh, what happened?
Right.
That heaviness.
Like melatonin.
Yeah, I mean,
Kick your ass.
there's a little bit in it. It's like maybe 2%.
Right.
But it's not enough to get you that feeling. So
Right.
occasionally I use that. And then I'm dabbling into other stuff down the road. So
Oh yeah, like what, LSD? What's going on?
well, if it was available, no. But
Do you ever microdosed?
no, because a lot of things just never affected me. I don't know what it was.
Do you know the benefits of microdosing? Have you? Looking into. I mean, you're talking about wellness and things like that because psychedelic therapy is a thing right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard all stories on it. Pros, cons, everything.
I have.
Yeah. So
I microdosed for an entire summer.
yeah, I mean,
It was wonderful. I was the best version of Carlota. Everybody loved me. And then I quit, and now I'm an asshole. Go ahead.
no, I'm always like that. So but
No, but microdosing's seriously. It's look up. There's a book called How to Change Your Mind, and there's actually a Netflix. I think it's Netflix documentary on it. It's like a 4 or 5 part series, and it's about the benefits of psychedelic therapy. And it starts with LSD and mushrooms, which we all know is a big one, but LSD is actually better. And then it gets into MDMA, and then obviously the ayahuasca or whatever in South America they drink the tea, the ayahuasca or something like that. I won't do that. You throw up. I don't do anything that throws up. But the benefits are incredible. What it does for PTSD and depression and a lot of some people use it for seizures. Some people use it for migraines, chronic migraines, and things like that. So it's really, just because you're a wellness guy, I know you're into the wellness thing. Look into that just for fun. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard other people take it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did it. It was wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, especially now. I mean, between all the stuff that food-wise, allergy, people have all these diseases now.
Right.
Everything. There has to be more natural alternative ways besides just writing a script,
Right.
getting on some meds that half the time don't even work anyways.
Right.
So it's like nowadays it's just, here, take this. And then you're like, hey, I was barely here, 5 minutes. You saw me, you were writing me a script, so we'll see what's available on the on that side. But yeah, I mean, mushrooms are good. It's all natural.
Mushrooms for me are like, I don't do anything that makes you throw up.
Yeah.
I won't do it. That's why I don't really drink.
No.
It's just alcohol. I don't really get drunk because I threw up one time and I was like, enough, good there. But so mushrooms for me are a little too volatile because you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah. Well, these
Right.
are more of the natural,
No,
reishi,
I understand what you're doing.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
know
doing
that you're not doing the psychedelic
Yeah,
mushrooms,
but
but
popping
no.
some caps, you
But
know?
but the mushrooms you're talking about,
Yeah.
the wellness mushrooms, we're actually looking for some for dogs right now,
Yeah.
right? Because my roommate's dog had been taking the mushroom for a certain ailment, and it was helping. And so he's looking for those mushrooms again because I guess he can't find them, whatever. But so mushrooms, when you were looking into mushrooms for your products, what was the interesting thing about it for you to be like, hey, this is very good for us? What did you see?
Well, once, like I said, I came back from back visiting family after, funeral and stuff like that. When I started going through companies and started seeing some of the stuff, you start seeing all the products. You start seeing every ingredient. And then once you start reading into what each one does, the benefits from it, that's where I was like, man, okay.
What's the benefits?
Like reishi mushroom, it helps with, a lot of cognitive, mental stuff. It helps with a lot of people later on with dementia, but it also calms you, helps you, your immunity system. It's so much of, an overall thing. Then you wonder why, Eastern medicines have it in almost everything.
Yeah,
And then you got lion's mane, you got all these other, other ones that do all this great stuff.
Right.
So it's like, I'm looking going, well, damn, I like these.
Right.
Can you put these together into a special blend?
Right.
They're like, yeah, we could do that. So it's one thing I thought I'd never need, when I was in school was chemistry. Yeah, I don't need that. Now I'm like,
shit.
yeah, okay, I need to go back and learn this.
Shit.
What do I decide to do for a living? Painter, mix things by grams, and it's like, oh, what's the math on this again? Are these two supposed to go together? Am I getting a reaction?
Yeah. I thought I was just gonna live in rock and roll.
Yeah, I'm like,
go to school.
I'm just gonna be an artist. I don't need none of this stuff. So I'm like, okay, math again. I gotta do equation.
That's so funny because I had the same sort of epiphany in my work with math because I was trying to run. It's so stupid, but I was trying to run a song, a call coming out of a song, certain time amount, going into another song, make sure I don't hit the vocals. And so there was this time thing, and I was like, working that out. And they're like, oh, you're doing algebra right now. I was like, I am? I never did algebra.
Yeah, you're like,
I
I
was doing algebra in the park getting high. That was me doing algebra in high school. But all of a sudden, I'm doing algebra at work in radio. And it's like, oh, wow, that's so crazy. You know?
I'm sitting there, like doing some of these LEDs and stuff. I'm like, okay, a transistor here, Matt. I'm like, oh, man. I think I should have paid more attention.
We should have all paid more attention in high school.
I was into racing. I was into, just going out having fun. No cell phones, no nothing. We're just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we didn't have any of that.
Come back when the street lights are on.
Yeah, we climbed trees, got high, and somehow got out of the tree without falling and dying. That was me, at least.
No, I got many scars of
I never fell out. Thank
crashing
God.
and, just abusing ourselves.
Yeah.
But, that was a good old days.
You know what I find when I look back now, and I think we should all study this, paid attention more, history, because I'm finding myself super, involved in, history, documentaries and stuff. I'm like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. I was like, what was I doing in high school when I was getting this for free when I was a kid. Now I'm paying $17.99 a month to watch this shit. You know what I mean?
It was a different type of history, where we find things that stimulate us as we get older.
Yeah.
In school, you're just like, I'm not going to use this.
No, I know.
What do I need government for? Now you're like, man, they've been jacking us for how long?
Well, and again, history, what? Oh, wait. Oh, we did this before? What are we doing? Why are we doing it again? We're not paying attention.
No. It's, when we're young, it's just, we want to get done with it.
Yeah.
We're so eager to be an adult right away. we think
And now we're like, oh,
yeah, we should slow down a little bit more. You know, but
I don't even know that I'd want to be in my 20s again because we're stupid as shit in our 20s. But I wouldn't mind being about 33. You know?
Well, it's worse now
It's
because,
good age.
you know, at least back then we used to remember everything. We had no choice.
Right.
Now everything's on the phone, so it's like, what was that number again? I'm like, you know.
Yeah. And your stupid shit isn't getting recorded.
Yeah.
Right? You could skate by doing
there's
something.
many things that
And it's
I
not
got,
on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or anything.
Believe
It's
me.
nowhere.
Some of the stuff I've done,
It's a blurry picture.
I would still be in trouble to this day.
Me too.
You know, it's just, especially growing up small town.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got nothing else to do. So
Yeah.
let's see how far we could push
Trouble.
stuff. Oh yeah.
Got trouble to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was even in talking. You just didn't even in my business in radio back early days of radio. We had studios with no windows and doors that locked. We had a good time. Now, like even today, I'm in a fucking fishbowl. I mean, like I said, anybody can walk by, come in anytime. You can't do rails of cocaine and have orgies in the studio anymore. And I think radio's dying because of it.
At least it made it interesting back then.
Dude. but that's sort of the life now. That's a metaphor for everything. You know, you can't do anything and not have it get out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like now they're like, oh, it must be fun backstage. I'm like,
No.
it's just like this. This is what we're doing.
It's boring backstage.
It's not like how it was.
It's boring. Yeah,
You know?
no, it's like, get me out of here.
It's not the Motley Crue days back in the 80s. You know?
No, it's, well, my fun. What's your funnest backstage story? Tell me something like crazy that happened to you backstage.
Just the only major ones is like me being there when I'm not supposed to be there.
Oh, yeah? Do tell.
You know, well,
Do you ever get kicked out?
no, because I know how to play it.
Okay.
So, you know, if you act like you're supposed to be there, you know, security, and plus doing security for a while, so I know protocols, I know terminology. So if I say something, they think, oh, okay, you're supposed to be here.
Right.
And I just work my way, and then, you know, occasionally, you know, somebody sees me, they'll be like, hey, what's up? But by then, I've run into the artist that I know or somebody like that, you know. But, yeah, I mean, there's times I just, I don't care.
What artist did you get on your roster by being a sneaky little motherfucker, getting backstage and working your way in when you weren't supposed to be there?
It's just actually building friendship that caused from that. Not necessarily work, but being in that circle that was like, oh, okay, you know, and then got invited to parties and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's just, if you're there, you're there, you know, so whether it's some event like NAMM or a concert, you know, yeah, it's just knowing where the artist is, knowing venues, because I've been around a lot of them, so I'm like, okay, I know this Aztec's door goes here to, you know, the green room or where they're hanging out. So there's times, you know, security's like, man, don't put your hand down, you know.
And you've gotten past him and you got to the artist.
Yeah, and then,
so who were you not supposed to get to?
I mean, our friend Corey Taylor, I did that.
I knew. I don't ask a question I don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, House of Blues, that was fun.
I remember that drum head was gorgeous.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. He was shocked, too.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was shocked.
Yeah, they're like, hey, where's Carlota at? I think Jerry Cantrell. They're like, man, why are we performing? Well, let's go see Jerry.
Yeah.
You know.
Good old Corey.
Yeah, he's fun. You know. What was the other one? I think it was NAMM at the Schecter booth. I went there to go see Zach. Next thing you know, I'm in the back and I'm hanging with, you know, JD from Black Label and some of the other artists and Doug Pinnick from King's X. I was a big King's X fan, so getting to meet him and hang out and talk, that was cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's just opportunities like that. It's like, if I didn't take the initiative, go, hell with it. You know, I wouldn't meet half these people. But yeah, but having, the relationships with the other people that go, no, he's one of us, he's cool, that helps.
Yeah.
If not, but one thing I always drives me nuts that I see people do is, if you are fortunate enough to get a pass, don't take a picture and post it online. Because,
don't be stupid, yeah.
Because nowadays, you don't know who's seeing it. They're going to try and print it out and sneak. It's like, that's why now they're doing holograms, they're doing lights, UV, whatever, just to make sure that people are not trying to counterfeit these things, because, crazy situations happen. Not necessarily everybody has good intentions. So it's like, if you do get a pass, just, cover some of the stuff up if you want to show, oh, yeah, I'm here. Don't post the whole thing. It's not safe for the artist. They don't know who's walking back there. It's lucky enough, I had friends that knew me, so it was okay, but random people, yeah, don't post it.
Yeah. But also you have integrity with your artist.
Yeah.
Because you don't act like a fool, right?
No, it's all about relationships. It's about trust. Money comes and goes, but those relationships, that's what I care about. Because, like we said, things, they're on the road a couple years, they come back, we hook up, like, no big deal. But if you don't have that good relationship with them, you move on, do something else. But I know too, having that, even though I'm not constantly doing work with everybody, they know at any given time, call me up, text me. Yeah, what do you need? You want to just hang out? Shoot the shit? Hey, cool. It's not all about, work. They know what they tell me is personal, it's private.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Right.
It's not, oh, guess who I talked to today? No.
Yeah. No name dropping.
Yeah, that's why social media, all you see is artwork.
Yeah.
No personal stuff, no nothing. I've learned from friends, you have your real life, you have your online life. You keep it separate.
Sure.
Because I've had crazy people, stalkers, everything else too. I'm like, to me, I'm just a painter.
Yeah.
But it's that weird, like, hierarchy. You're associated with this artist, so we see you here. And it's a weird kind of dynamic where it's like, I just see myself, covered in paint. I smell sometimes with paint. I'm a worker.
Yeah.
But to see me like that, it takes a minute to get used to. It's like, but yeah, I mean, I've had people try to back channel to go to friends and family to find out what I'm doing, to try to see about getting to artists that I know. You know, it's just, it's weird.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Oh, yeah,
I get it.
We have mutual friends,
Oh,
same thing. You're doing it for this long, it's like, you know.
What was it like working with Ozzy?
The first is, can you understand him? That's the first thing,
Right.
And then you're like, oh, okay, that worked good, And then, ended up doing like red carpet with Zach's roast, meeting Sharon, stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting,
My experience with Ozzy was that he was an incredibly kind man, very gracious and inviting. That was my experience with Ozzy, hugging all the time and I love you and thank you. He was just incredibly gracious. What was your experience with him when you dealt with him one-on-one?
What helped is because I had that relationship with Zach,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they see Zach like part of the family type of thing.
Right.
So it was like that. It was like, oh, okay, if he likes you, then it was open.
Right.
Really nice. But yeah, it was one of those things of, okay, what do we do? What do we want to do? Design work, everything
Did he
else.
have a lot of input on the design?
On some, they come and this is what we want to do, and then it's up to me to kind of like translate kind of what they want into something visual, because not everything from the way you see it in your mind translates to something physical. Here's what I could do. Here's what's possible.
Sure.
Some things, if I know it's almost impossible, hey, let's go a digital way. You know,
Right.
I like to give people options. I had to do that with Gene too. On some things, I've tried to paint it. I'm like, there's no way. I'm racking my brain and trying to get all this stuff. I'm like, we may just have to go a digital, print on this, and then I can do all the finish work. But, it's all input, and that's why the mock-ups and the back and forth is very important, because I did the same thing with like Hook. I think I went through 8 different variations before I did his guitar, because sometimes they like it. Oh yeah, it looks good. They sit on it a little bit, look back. Oh, this kind of looks off. Can you do
Right.
this? Can you move here? What about, this color? And you just keep tweaking it till it's like, okay, there is no more variations. This is how it is.
Right.
We got to make a choice on this. So a lot of times I give people maybe 4 or 5 changes. Other than that, I'm going to start charging you,
Yeah.
because you'll constantly keep changing things.
Right.
So it's, what's the deadline? What's the budget? And where are we looking? And that actually happened. I ended up doing something for Nicky Six. His guys sent me over some cases to paint, and it was like that. Okay, here's the old time photos. This is what we want, which back then weren't great quality photos.
You're like, oh shit.
I'm like trying to blow them up to fit a whole case. I'm like, man, this looked really bad.
Right.
So, oh yeah, now we want like 80s neon, and it's like, well, digitally, yeah, that's easy. How am I going to paint it now? That's, but got it done, and he was happy with it. Took some pictures of it, posted it. So, and then that translates into Crew Fest, which is another charity I do every year. So,
Okay.
getting ready for that. So,
What was the piece that when they first came to you and you were like, oh man, I don't know, I'm able to do this, and then it came out so beautiful that you'd put it in your top pieces of work?
that's a lot of pieces of work I've done. It's hard to say, really, because almost.
What's the first thing that popped in your head when I asked it?
I mean, I would say probably some of the Gene axe bases,
Okay.
because it's a weird shape. So it's not like a traditional guitar where it's flat. Even his Punisher bases, it's still flat, even though it's a spade. But that axe has contours and all the shapes. And I think the only one that really was tricky, I would say, is they had me reproduce like a battle axe version.
Okay.
So the original guy that built it, they gave me pictures to work from. So I had to replicate it just with paint. So I'm looking at it, and of course I throw my spin on it. But I had to strip it down, had to make like the body look like just some beat up wood. And then the axe part, I had to make it look like pitted steel. So there's a lot of color combinations, and then of course I added rust, added other stuff. But the front has contour, so you kind of mimic. But then when you get to the back, it's flat. So you're like, okay, how am I going to match what so I had to kind of like make a template, then translate the back, but make it look 3D as well, even though that's flat, and then pull it off to look like the custom one he had done. Took a little trial and error, but, I got it. But, yeah, it's a lot, but the best was the original builder was like, no, that's my guitar. I'm like, no, it's not. So we had a little
tiff?
yeah.
Little
So
something?
yeah, he didn't talk to me for a little bit. because of that. Because
why?
because he was handling a lot of the stuff before, but because of business and everything, it was just.
But why did he want your guitar to be his guitar?
Well, because he thought it looked just like his. He had to actually zoom in and realize that it wasn't his guitar, because I was taking credit for, Gene and stuff posted the pictures of, here's the guitar. I'm like, here's the battle axe that I did. He's like, no, that's mine. I'm like, no,
bro.
I go zoom in, and once he zoomed in, he's like, oh, that isn't mine. That's all paint. And I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, sometimes it's things like that. So if it is an artist or, a couple of jeans were pain now that I think of it, because, man, Kiss fans, I want that. It's like, he only played that for like 1 year. Turns out it was, it was glow in the dark. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, this was like 80 something. I'm like, paint has changed then. I'm like, did just the front glow in the dark? Did the whole guitar glow in the dark?
Right.
You do something wrong, they know. They're like, nah.
Fucking Kiss fans.
But, they pay. They got
I'm
money.
currently looking at somebody over here. Man.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, and you can't find anything online. There's no information on some of these things.
Right.
Because throughout history, maybe they sold it, it got beat up. Now you're trying to reproduce stuff. It's like, there's no information on it.
Right.
Oh, back in the day, it did this. I'm like, how, we used to use lead paint in the day. Doesn't mean it's, acceptable now.
That's why we fucked up.
So it's like, some of these are like almost impossible.
Right.
But,
what's the future here? Who's next? Who you trying to secure?
I got approached to do a couple bases, so we're working out it's going to be a final show in England. I could say that.
Nice. Okay.
So,
we were discussing this person a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Really?
Yeah. So because I did a piece for the Dio charity.
Yeah.
And Geezer Butler.
Yeah.
He liked the portrait I painted of him, and he signed it. It raised money for the charity, and he didn't want to give it up. Cool. So Gloria hit me up, his wife, and it's like, we want a couple bases done. He wants one personally for him, and then for the final show, we want to do something. So
that's cool, man.
I'm like,
do you get to go? No.
I don't know.
Yo.
I gotta check the passport, make sure it's current, but
Yeah. But get that passport current, dude, because you'd be like, yeah, you can have a guitar.
But did you hear who's gonna MC it now? They'll do the whole show.
Who?
Jason Momoa.
Okay.
So
that's your boy.
Yeah, we had talked about doing work too. So it's funny how art takes you into all these avenues.
I'm just saying, you're gonna need somebody that to go with you. You're going to need 2 people because you're going to need a team.
You need a film crew.
You're going to need a team.
You need documentation.
Yeah, to document your travels to the final Black Sabbath show, just in case you're wondering. We're not trying to be vague.
And Zach and the Pantera Boys will be there. So
a
lot of people we know are going to be there.
Yeah.
So,
No, I want to go.
It'll be a rowdy show.
I got to get my birth certificate in line. Ugh, I can't find it. Trying to get my passport in line. I can't find my birth certificate.
I think I could renew mine. I think they have like a 15-year window on it that you could renew.
Yeah, mine's a little older than that. But
I have to check. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's
Black
just,
Sabbath. That's great.
It's one of those. It's like, icon status. It's
yeah.
I remember getting a call. Hey, they're talking about you on YouTube, and it was Robert Plant playing Elvis guitar I painted. For Shades of Elvis project with Priscilla Presley and stuff like that.
That's great.
It's like,
you did that for Elvis?
It was a project she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So with my buddy Chris, that's a great photographer. He did the book. So it had everybody in there. Eddie Van Halen, Snoop, Ozzy, Charlie Sheen was in it. Johnny Depp, a lot of actors, a lot of musicians posing with Elvis's sunglasses, giving like a little story of what.
And you did the guitar they're posing
So
with.
I did the guitar for that, and Robert Plant's playing it, and I'm like, man, I grew up listening to that, and here it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
it's crazy how life kind of just arranges, these people and stuff like that. It's like, I never planned on meeting half these people or doing work with half these people.
Yeah.
And
Fuck meeting them, working with them. Yeah.
It's just, whether it's actors or musicians, it's like, you grow up, you watch movies, you listen to music. Yeah, that's your life. Now all of a sudden, here I am in the mix, and
Robert Plant is playing a guitar you painted.
Yeah, and then family members are like, "Oh my God, remember?" I'm like, "Yeah," it's just, that's the avenue I wanted to, but also moving out of a small town and coming to Vegas, that opened up all this craziness. And
where are you from?
Santa Maria, California.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, kind of northern, past Santa Barbara.
I know where that is. Yeah.
Had to take the leap, going, nothing here.
Yeah.
Let's try Vegas. And then, over the years, this town kept growing and more opportunity. And
did you hear the latest about Las Vegas? What's happening? About Excalibur and Luxor, I believe. I don't know if this is true or not, but did you...
Disney thing or something?
The Dubai thing.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
That they're going to demolish. They're going to bring it down. Are you hearing? Okay. But I just read this morning. I don't want to peddle fake news, but I just read it this morning that it makes sense that they're going to take down Luxor and Excalibur and build two very Dubai-style high-rises because Las Vegas has grown so much in a different direction than it was when they built Luxor and Excalibur, as far as the themey, comical type shit, because of, the NFL, NBA, MLB.
The baseball.
Obviously NHL with the Golden Knights. But now with F1.
Yeah.
So they want that it just makes more sense to have a higher style of whatever.
Oh yeah,
especially that Excalibur and Luxor are just out as far as because of where Vegas is headed.
Oh yeah, and especially those locations, like you said, the new baseball stadium,
right
Cross,
there.
And then where Elysian is, that's prime real estate.
Yeah.
So I mean, this month we have, of course, AC/DC. I'll be there.
Yeah, man.
You going?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm going. Are you kidding me?
So I had to. Who knows how much longer they're going to be.
This is it. No, this is it.
So I'm like, I have to go.
Yeah.
And then we got wrestling coming into town. Mm-hmm. That's a whole week of just mayhem.
Yeah.
So, money's flowing in. So I could see them doing that. And those hotels, they're old. I mean, I used to work at Excalibur.
What'd you do there?
Work. It first started the little airbrush, fantasy, in the fantasy fair area. And then it translated to, like I said, you got to get a job. Mm-hmm. So I started in the food and beverage, and then ended up in room service, answering the phones. Which, talk about drama, just stories, everything. But
what's the craziest food service story? Come on.
Besides walking in on people and seeing
what'd you see?
Yeah.
Come on, what'd you see? Did you see some super sex orgy shit? What? Come
on. Walked in on couples. Walked in on one lady and her, let's say, partner. She brought her little toy. Looked like
How big was the toy?
It was big enough that it was taking a nap on the pillow and tucked underneath the covers.
Was it real?
It was.
Was it a robot? What was it?
No, it was
a person.
No, it was a person, but
it was a huge dildo.
Yeah, that it
we
was.
We can say dildo. Yeah. Donger? Like how big? How big? Taller than me?
No, it wasn't that big, but yeah, it was.
Horse?
It was pretty big.
Horse?
I mean,
oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like it was taking a nap on the pillow, tucked in, like she just wore it out.
All right. Yeah. Well, hey, okay, girl, get your boogie on.
Oh, and they're like, "Oh yeah, come on in." You're
like
drugs on the table. There's this.
Yeah.
Land.
It's Vegas.
Yeah. Then, times you walk in on people because you're given like basket, amenity baskets. if you do stay in Vegas, deadbolt the lock. That's all I can say.
Yeah, they got that new thing, right?
Yeah,
they got that new
because if you
Click
happen,
that.
if you're happen to get, like a comp or something like that or amenity, they have the right to. They tap. If it comes up green, that means they could walk in the room, and that's.
If you have a comp,
So, like, if you
Didn't know
have
this.
an amenity, from, the hotel and stuff, they'll give like gift baskets. They'll do that, so they'll put them in the rooms. So one of my things was I had to deliver them to so
Okay.
many rooms. So you knock on the door, no answer. You pass key, a little thing shows green. That means it's not dead bolted.
That
You're
means
able
go.
to go on in. Some rooms, have a longer hallway. Walk in, turn. Oh, okay, excuse me. And set it down, leave. But yeah, lock the door. If you're doing anything, lock the door.
because if you get a free comp, that gives them free access to you.
Depending on what it is.
Is that like sort of
part of the package?
terms of the terms that you do when you?
If you have a like a concierge and
Okay.
so if they're going to give you like a basket or something free complimentary, a lot of times they give it to the people after they've checked in, because you never know really what room number they're going to be assigned until they check in.
Got it.
So but yeah, just lock the door.
Or not.
Hey, some people you see out
Or not.
you see in the hallway.
They're like, come on in.
Yeah, they're like, hey, okay, people.
You're like, no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just here to deliver the oranges.
Oh,
Whatever you want to do with them, all you. But I'm out.
oh yeah, there's
Jeez.
numerous stories. Yeah,
Dude. Well.
rich old women wanting to request male food servers. And then,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And you were the male food
No,
server?
I was
Come
the
on
one
now.
answering the phone, but one of my guys was gone for like an extra long time.
Oh, it took him a long time
Yeah.
to deliver the pretzels, huh?
No, it was just a little beverage, but I don't think it takes an hour to deliver a beverage. Yeah,
But it can take an hour to deliver the goods.
yeah, but oh yeah, there's stories.
How,
Yeah.
So one of the things that surprised me when the things that you're doing or have done, I should say, was the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a minute. This whole wall is Jason Oberly?
Because it's you get not necessarily like pigeonholed into a certain genre of things.
Sure,
because
yeah.
that's what you're the go-to. That's what you start
Yeah.
getting that fan base for. But it was brokered out. A bunch of artists got to do stuff. So I did 2 canvases. One's hanging by the lounge on the second floor where everything is. Another one's actually in what they call like Millionaire Row, which is all the high-end suites. So you have to have a good bank account in order to get those.
Dickhead Row.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
but it's cool because it has a plaque, little QR code with all my info on it
Oh,
next to
cool.
the painting. So
Okay.
if they're interested, they
How'd you get that? I mean, the Raiders. Like, you're a Raiders fan, though, right? Am I wrong? No?
no,
Oh, come on now. You look like a Raiders fan.
no. I'm
just stereotyped you like a motherfucker,
Oh, yeah.
but you look like a Raiders
the
fan.
only sports I was really into is fighting.
Fighting.
Yeah,
Well, you
UFC.
you look like a Raiders fan.
Well, I mean, they do fight over there, but no,
Not
not the type
anymore.
of fighting
Not
I do.
anymore. Not since Vegas. Actually,
No.
have you noticed that about the Raiders here in Las Vegas? It's the black hole is not
Well, that's
necessarily a dangerous place to be.
Well, that's
if
because
you're an
their
opponent.
POs won't let them leave the state from California.
Well, there's that, but it's also I always knew that the Raiders would do better here as far as being able to go to I would never go to a Raiders game in Oakland. I would have never, because it was so dangerous. For if you were an opposing fan, but here it's like I don't know. I think maybe just tickets are too much, and I don't know.
No, I think it's just Vegas in general being entertainment town.
Yeah.
We have so much going on that anybody could show up.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, it's a different vibe here. I look transparent. I'm obviously a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and so that's our biggest rivalry. I mean, the AAFC, the AFC was built through the Chiefs and Raiders, right? It was Al Davis and Lamar Hunt who came together and said we need to build this part of football, and they did, and then they merged with obviously the NFL and became the AFC. But that rivalry is from back then, so I'm bled to hate the Raiders because of all that, but I support them because of Las Vegas, right? Which is a weird place to be as a Chiefs fan. Like, okay, you kind of want these guys to do good to some degree so that city does good, right? Have you become, you've done the work for the Raiders, but have you become somewhat of a supporter at all?
I mean, I'm always supporting of things locally.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it helps with jobs, it helps with everything else that goes through this town. Because it is such a transient town. Other places don't realize just from the local standpoint of what this town does, for the city, for the people, stuff like that.
Very community driven.
Yeah.
The city really is,
most of the locals, if they're not working on the strip, it's all the outskirts,
100%.
And but the flip side of that, we do get, some of the trouble from neighboring states come in and kind of like, prey on the strip as well with tourists,
Dude, they think that they can come here, the tourists can come here, and not only lose all their money and their dignity, but just lose all their sense of decorum.
Oh, yeah.
They think that this is their fucking toilet, that they can come shit and piss and vomit in. And they do. But it's our home.
Yeah, I mean, because, you always hear stories of Vegas, party Vegas, and people just kind of, it's a way for them to just, okay, nobody judge, it's Vegas. They'll be quiet when they go home or whatever,
but we judge.
Yeah, we see so much. But also had friends come to town, drank a little too much.
Yeah.
Things happen. A couple people snuck up on them. Oh, yeah, we'll help you get back to your hotel. Rolled them. Stole their car, stole their,
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's like, not everybody that's, you got to have some street smarts,
In this city,
yeah.
Yeah. What's fun about not fun. What's interesting about this city is that some of the biggest things that happen don't make the news. No.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, back when I worked in the hotel,
Dude,
there's stuff that, and these old people are like, they ain't moving, ambulance coming through, fire coming through. They're like, no, this is my machine.
No.
Whether dead body, whatever, they're just like.
There was one time, I remember this, it was because I was coming back into town from a job interview out of town. I was coming back into the city, and a friend of mine worked at the Stratosphere, and she couldn't leave work at that time because they had to put the pink powder that they use for biological problems, because some dude lost all his money, went to the top of the Stratosphere, got past security, climbed over the barbed wire or whatever is up there, and jumped. And splat in the employee parking lot area. And so part of the splat was on her car. And I know that happened because I was supposed to hang out with her and she couldn't get out of work. Not a peep.
Nope.
Not a peep in the news.
Nope.
Not a peep.
Because that cancellation, room cancellations
Dude.
on that.
And then recently I was driving down Tropicana towards Decatur, and I was passing the Orleans Hotel. And at Cameron right there, that street Cameron where Mulligan's is, there was about 30. I mean, it was a lot. Cop cars on full blast, woo, 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 rolling into the side of the Orleans on one side on Cameron.
Okay.
No idea.
Oh,
And they were, I mean, it was like every cop in the city going to one spot in the Orleans parking lot, and not a peep.
oh yeah. That you never. It's bad.
So
for the
yeah.
hotels.
So anything like that in the hotel that you like? Give me one.
There's a lot of. Some are pretty bad.
Give me the bad one. Give me the one.
Where, man, I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
I know, but I'm like, man,
Bring it up. Let's go. Give me
Oh.
the dirt, bro. I want the dirtiest one. Go.
I don't know if I could say those just with, because I know people still work there on that one. But there's one instance.
Hotel X. Go ahead.
There's one instance where one of my guys would deliver an order, and in between the segments of the tower, he just hears, looks out the window. Boom.
Splat.
And I'm like, that wasn't by choice, because those windows don't open.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Because if anybody's been in those higher up rooms, those windows don't open.
Yeah.
So
So it
for-
was forced open.
Yeah. So
So it was either a loss of serious cash
it was something.
or a
Yeah.
loss of serious cash and not paying it back.
Oh, yeah.
One of the two,
Oh,
right?
it had to be something.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no public access to get to the top.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he was helped a little bit.
Helped a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that somebody was telling me about Las Vegas, and Larry might be able to confirm this, I don't know, but Larry's the shadowy figure over here.
Yeah.
It's very shady. No, but we talk about the dead bodies buried out way west because, the mafia and all the Las Vegas stuff.
Lake Mead started popping up.
Well, but the point is that even that,
Yeah.
from my understanding, is that the mafia didn't do it any ways that we think they did. That there's no buried bodies out there, not by anybody that was super real and professional about what not anybody that took good care in their work. Mafia time back in the 60s, 70s, and whatever, 80s. And not even Lake Mead. Like something about going down some sort of cylinder somewhere where it's high end shit. So we talk about all these bodies and stuff, but the mafia actually handled things a lot differently,
Well,
from
I
what
mean,
my understanding.
Vegas is known to have that
Hell
stigma.
yeah.
So a lot of it, I think, it's been embellished over the years, because how many people try to get away with shit. So,
But my understanding is, and again, I don't know, I wasn't here, but my understanding is that the mafia and the police had kind of a thing like, hey, we're cool.
mm-hmm.
You keep your business over there. We'll keep our business. We'll be good. Just don't step into our world and don't mess with people who don't deserve to be messed with. And the mafia was like, yeah, cool, no problem, until Spilotro showed up, which is Joe Pesci's character in Casino. Yeah. When he showed up, he didn't care about the agreement between law enforcement and the hey, we're cool. He decided to step over and start hurting people who didn't deserve it. And that's when law enforcement was like, okay, bro, we gotta get involved. And that's part of a lot of the overhaul with law enforcement and mafia in Las Vegas. That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. Am I wrong? Nope. See, this shadowy figure over here knows all that. But Las Vegas is still got that. I think there's a mob still here. It's just
it's more behind the scenes.
wow, and more corporate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything's a corporate.
the mob is no longer. His name isn't Gotti anymore.
Yeah.
His name is Win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Though,
Yeah.
like it's not as Italian as it used to be. But it's definitely money.
Hey, I'm old school. I still, you take care of those that take care of you,
Right.
type of thing.
Yeah.
It just, that philosophy kind of helps in life. Now a lot of people just don't care, period. And then when things go wrong, they find out, so it's always good to have those, people. I've met a few, hey, you're a good kid. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you need anything? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like,
when'd you move here?
93.
93. Okay, so a few years before me. What changes with Las Vegas do you like versus what you don't? Because it's changed a ton.
Well, I mean, like we talked about with the Excalibur, Luxor. Remember, MGM used to have the theme park in the back because it went from 21 and over. Then we hit the family.
Yeah, the
phase.
family phase.
Try to get families
bring the kids
here.
while we lose their college.
Yeah, everything
funds.
else. That didn't work too long. The family
Right.
thing. Circus. I remember Circus when I was a kid. I was like, man, this place is still here.
Yeah.
Over the years. The growth is, I remember just dirt fields, now, it just keeps going.
Yeah. But there's a positive to it and a negative.
Yeah.
So what's the positive?
The positive is now, especially with what we're doing in the entertainment, is everybody from the California, Hollywood is now coming here.
Yeah.
More affordable. We don't have all weird laws, regulations, stuff like that. So now that's opening up more opportunities for everybody here, which is nice.
Right.
Whether it's, a movie studio that they're building, because I live in Boulder City, 50 Cent, Mel Gibson was filming out there. What was the recent movie? I forget. It was like a cop movie. It was based off a true story. They filmed it out there, so you start seeing more things happening here in town. So, the sports teams, shows, other things, there's more to do, especially if you're coming to visit. Now F1, everything. The bad part is the fact that when you do put in so much high-end things, now you're pricing people out too, because everything starts really going up. Housing market, everything. So, especially this past year with just so many people outbidding on homes, which drove up the cost, because you can't compete with a corporation. If you have to sit there and get down payment assistance to buy your first house and go through the whole process of FHA loan, the corporation go, I'll give you $25,000 more in cash. Well, you're out. Yep. They just sold it to them. So that now, even all over, spikes all the housing process, prices. Now it's what little, that you did save up. Now you're going to need more, because now everybody wants 20%. Before it used to be, you could do 3% down.
Right.
Because a lot of people defaulted on it because can't afford it. So it's like everything. You got the good and the bad, but you have to outweigh, goes back to our math, once you once you crunch the numbers, that you're like, okay, this is what physically I could do.
Right.
Now what are they saying? The average person needs 70 to 80,000.
I think it's 92.
92 now to
it's
live
92
here?
in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be living.
Yeah.
Through it, and now who knows? Could be 100.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 92 about a year ago.
Yeah, and then you see, like some people I know, I'm spending $1,800 a month on an apartment. I'm like, $1,800 a month? You have a pretty decent house.
Yeah.
But now they don't have the down payment for it.
Right.
Because now they're stuck into a situation that you're spending, all this money on something you don't own.
Right.
Or you could have borrowed from it. You could have paid off stuff.
Right.
So.
I see the good as the sports teams and the legitimacy of the city as far as how big it is and whatnot. But you're right, we're pricing people out. They're getting greedy with the resort fees and
parking. I
parking.
went to.
I won't even do it.
Yeah,
I refuse.
I forget what was the last show I went. House of Blues. They're like, it's 40.
Yeah. It's $50 at Golden Nugget, dude. Golden Nugget's a toilet. Stop.
Yeah.
$50 to park at the Golden Nugget.
It was
shut up.
It was Iron Maiden. when I went to Iron Maiden.
You went to Iron Maiden without me?
Yeah.
Fucker. Go ahead.
Hey, I had to. It was one of those others on the list, you know. But yeah, it was like $40 resort fee. I'm like,
No.
parking.
Yeah, parking. No,
They're like, oh, it's event parking. I'm
No.
like, what?
I don't even. Yeah, I don't do it. I don't even go to concerts down on the strip anymore because of that. Even if I get free tickets, I'm like, no,
Oh, I get
Not
invited
doing
to
it.
so much stuff, and I'm like,
nah, cool.
I got to drive 45 minutes. Then
pay-
I gotta
and then
then I
gotta
gotta find a place to park,
And pay a lot of money to
and then
do it.
and
No.
then pay. It's like
To come pay and then so I can spend money inside your step so I can buy $40 beer.
and then
No, I'm good.
hang out with the people that I know anyways that I could talk to.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's
At
like,
a PT's pub,
yeah,
on Decatur and
Or-
Flamingo and a dive.
or
Like, I'm good.
they stop by the house. Just stop by the house.
Yeah, wherever.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be. Like I'm not a recluse or I'm not.
Yeah.
Avoiding everything. It's like between the work I got, everything else, my time is valuable.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to go. What?
Yeah.
I'm
No,
like,
no.
that's so much time out of my day that I could be, doing something, making money, or just relaxing.
With the movie studios coming to Las Vegas, and there's two, right?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg has one or
And
something like that.
Sony, right?
Yeah.
Are you getting any bites from that? Are they coming your way for anything?
I'm sure they will. 'Cause-
Awesome! I love the
Yeah.
confidence in that.
Oh.
I'm sure they will.
Well, it's
Jason Oberly.
Well,
Of course they're going to come to me, and I'm going to do some shit.
that and having the right people vouch for me.
Of course,
So
but there could be a lot of opportunity
Oh,
for
yeah.
you with that. That's fantastic.
yeah, I don't rule nothing out.
I love your confidence.
Oh, that's all it is. It's do the work. You do the work. It speaks for itself. It's everything's a done deal. It's just a matter of time.
I love this shit. Jason, thank you for coming by,
Yeah,
man. I
welcome.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
It's good to see you. It's been too long.
Yes, it has. Good.